welcome back to the channel. My name is Misty, and today I want to go over 5 different goals that I have for 2021. These are all goals that I have that are related to writing and author business type things. So if that interests you, stick around and I'm going to go over the top 5 goals that I have for the year. These are overarching goals and there's definitely more than 5, but for the sake of time I thought I would just condense it into a nice little number. Before we begin, if you could go ahead and like the video, I would really appreciate it, and if you are interested in this type of content, go ahead and hit subscribe because I post pretty frequently on here. And I am embarking on an author journey this year, so if you want to see more about my books as they come out and the different videos I do in regards to self-publishing, then definitely subscribe because I'm going to be doing a lot of that this year especially. So goal number 1 that I have is to publish These Clockwork Stars, which is my current work in progress. I do want to publish it in Q1 of this year. As of right now, I still don't have an official release date or anything like that, or even a release month, because I'm kind of wavering between February, March, maybe even April, just depending on how things go, you know, because books are so volatile, and you know, what works for you one time may not work for you another time, and drafting and editing might take vastly different lengths of time and whatever. So right now I'm in the second draft slash like editing stage, and it's going well, but I mean, who knows, you know, so and I definitely don't want to release the book before it's ready. Sometime in Q1 hopefully is my goal for that, and that'll be my first ever book that I'll have published. So I really love the book and I really want to see what other people think of it, and I'd love to just get it out there in the world and get my career started as an author this year. That's so exciting. Goal number 2 is I would hope that I can publish at least 1 other book this year. Originally my goal was to publish 2 other books this year, but that doesn't seem extremely realistic with the fact that I don't write full-time. It's definitely a part-time thing for me. So I think a very realistic goal for me is to publish 1 other book this year. The next book that my goal is to target for publication this year in 2021 is my Pied Piper retelling. So I haven't revealed the title for it yet, and I'm not going to yet. Stay tuned though, because the title reveal will be coming soon after These Clockwork Stars releases, because that's going to be the thing I jump into immediately afterwards. So I'm definitely going to be talking a lot about that on this channel as the months progress. But that book I feel like is in a stage where I can... It's difficult to explain. I feel like that book is going to be my next book because I have 1 other work in progress that's called The Cook's Poison. I've already revealed that title because I really just wanted to be able to talk about it without being hindered, you know, or calling it project anything. I really just wanted to be able to talk about it. So The Cook's Poison is my other book that I'm working on, and it was my first book that I wrote with the intention of publication, and there's a lot to that book. It's not like as great of world building. It's not as vast of a world as some other authors might do, but for me it's a lot, you know, and I'm not at the level yet, I feel like, in my writing where I can really do it justice without a great deal of struggle. And so I want to get better before I attempt to publish that book. So I think it does need a little bit more time. And I actually have worked on this book, The Cook's Poison, for I think about 4 years now. It's been about 4 years now since I actually got the original idea, but I think I need even a little bit more time than that. So putting that one on the back burner, pun intended, I'm going to be focusing on my Pied Piper retelling. I have a lot of different ideas for it. So the stage that it's in right now is I have it 0 drafted, which means I just basically like threw a bunch of stuff onto the page. It's basically a longer outline and it's 45,000 words, but I see it being quite a bit longer than that. Originally I wanted to make it a novella, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be a full-length novel just because of all the... I want to explore different themes in this book, like a couple of them, and that takes a while, you know, to fully flesh out. My themes are a little bit more layered as well in this book, and so I feel like it's going to be like a full-length book. And so I also feel like it's a realistic goal to have the rest of the year be devoted to writing, editing, and publishing that one. So yeah, it'll probably take me the rest of the year, but I think it'll be a really cool book. And I'm really excited for it. I'm excited to write it. I'm excited to work on it. It's definitely just a fantasy romance, but this one is heavier on the fantasy than These Clockwork Stars is. So overarching, how do you say that word? Overarching goal number 3 for 2021 is to delve back into the wonderful world of poetry. So I understand that might be cringe for some people. It definitely is cringe when people just write poetry with like just aimlessly and without a great deal of skill and forethought and editing and all of that. I can definitely think of a few poets just off the top of my head that have been very successful with very little skill. I have been writing poetry since I was very young. I wrote poetry all the time as a young kid and especially as a teenager. I used to post my poems on this little forum that was run by Cricket magazine or Cicada magazine, one of those two, and it was called The Slam. It's just, you know, there's poetry slams, like this website was just called The Slam, and it was for young poetry writers that were my age. I think it was 18 and younger. And so I posted on The Slam quite a few times as a teenager, I think like 5 different times, and I tended to get some really positive reviews on that site, and there were some really good poets on that site, but unfortunately it was shut down. I really should look and see if I can find an archive of it somewhere and go back through all the years of poetry posted on that site and see if I can find mine, because that would be fun to share on this channel or on Patreon or something if I ever were to start a Patreon, which, you know, I have no plans at the moment, but I don't know, that would just be fun to share. But it kind of boosted my confidence as a teenager, and I definitely kept writing poems, especially with my best friend who is deceased. We used to write poems together all the time and text them to each other, and it was something we really enjoyed. We would text each other poems like daily, just about different topics like school and, you know, teenage angst and just funny stuff, just silly nonsense, and those were my favorite. And so I used to do that a lot, but now as an adult I found that I've drifted away from poetry, and it really makes me sad, and I've never really felt like I had anything pressing, like any topic that I could write about as an adult, that because I can't write about school anymore, I can't write about teenage angst. But there are a couple of ideas that I've had recently that I feel like I could write enough poems on these 2 topics to have like a short poetry collection for each. And I still consider myself a novice, so even though I've written a lot of poetry, that doesn't mean that I'm good at it yet. My mother for Christmas gave me this notebook that I think is so cute. I think it's the first notebook my mom's ever like gotten me, especially like as an adult, like bought me, and it's so special to me. This is from Heidi's Swap, which I feel like is at Michael's and possibly Hobby Lobby as well. But it's just like a little traveler's notebook. Like, it's really small. I don't know if you can tell how small it is, but you open it up and it's got this cute floral pattern, and it's just the insides have this cute like edging like in the middle, and it's just like grid paper. So I've already started keeping this as like a poetry inspiration / ideas notebook. And so in the front here I've got a couple of vision boards for the way I want my poetry to go, you know, and a bunch of notes for different themes and topics I want to explore. Yeah, that's a goal for this year. I'm very excited about it, and I don't plan on publishing poetry really anytime soon. I don't plan on it. That isn't to say that it won't happen, just that I don't really plan on it. But if I can work on maybe a poem a week and get it polished, then maybe after, you know, a year and a half or so, I'd have enough for a little poetry collection, so that would be fun. All right, so overarching goal number 4 for 2021 is I really want to grow in my photography skills, especially to grow my reading Instagram account, which only has like 2 posts on it right now, but it's called Castle in the Woods, and it's something that I'm really passionate about. I really want to grow that. I really want to be more of a bookstagrammer, as well as, you know, just like a writing, like have my writing account, which I love my writing account so much, but I really want to delve more into the book side of, like, the reading books side of Instagram. And I feel like accounts on there can do really well if they're really good with their photography skills, and so I really want to level up in that area, you know, discuss books with people in there and grow that so that I can hopefully use it to market in the future as well to like my ideal audience, you know, like people that like the books I like. I want to be able to grow that, and that's really important. As a self-published author, that's a really important thing to do, is to find your ideal readership. And so I want to work on doing that. Overarching goal number 5 is, you know, a pretty small goal, but it's to just grow my YouTube channel. I really love this platform, and I think it's really fun to connect with other writers on here. So I definitely want to be consistent with posting. I want to post once a week at least, if I can. I would like to grow my channel to 300 or 400 subscribers this year. I don't think that's too far off as a goal, because I feel like once I crossed that 100 subscriber mark, which happened this year and was super exciting for me, I feel like once I crossed that mark, it became a lot easier to start kind of the, you know, the boulder rolling down the hill effect, where I just started getting more. And so I think right now, as I'm filming this video, I'm at 160 something subscribers. So I think that's really cool. That happened really fast after I hit 100. So I feel like hitting 300 or 400 this year isn't that huge of a goal, so I feel like it's pretty attainable. So I think a fun way to track that would be to start adding the amount of subscribers I got the past month onto my like monthly goals videos I do. I really love those goals videos, and I am doing one for January, so stay tuned. And maybe starting a few more video series on this channel. I do have that Plan With Me series. My other series are my monthly goals videos, which I just mentioned. I really love those. I want to keep doing those every month. And then whenever I start actually doing my author business and making money, I want to start doing like monthly report outs where I show you guys how much I made, how much I spent, and you know, all that fun stuff. I might do that here on the channel, or I might start a Patreon, just a really low monthly amount, to be able to see those types of videos, because I feel like those are kind of interesting. So yeah, I would like to start a Patreon with that, but I'd also want to have more stuff I plan on posting to Patreon before I actually start one. So that's just an idea I have. Again, we're being super, you know, chatty today. We're not, you know, hiding much. So yeah, but those are my top 5 overarching, how many times can I say that word in one video, goals for 2021. And I would love it if you would tell me one of your goals for 2021 so that I can cheer you on, because any goal you have, you already have everything that you need to complete that goal, I feel like. So I feel like a lot of the stuff that holds us back is just ourselves. So whatever goal you have, just go ahead and start. And it might be messy at first and you might still be learning. It's better to start somewhere than to never start at all. And I definitely see that with this channel. I look back at some of my old videos and I'm just like, oh my gosh, private that one. That one's cringe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again real soon with a new video. Bye.